for the last 4 years, I've been very involved with our district, with District 2, with City of Miami. I endorsed 2 candidates. They didn't win, but I did my best for them to win because I've been wanting to look at politics as the way that I look at business, but very few people are able to see that.
Mm-hmm.
The way that Trump is handling the country now, the way that he's making changes, that he's breaking the rules for the people, that's what I want here in City of Miami. District 2 is a nightmare. It's a disaster now with the current leader that we have, Damian Pardo, which he's terrible. And now with City of Miami, the leadership is not there.
Mm-hmm.
I love Francis, even though he could block me or whatever. I love him a lot.
Has he blocked?
Yeah, he has me blocked because he doesn't like the fact that I'm telling the truth. At the moment that we needed to sue the city,
mm-hmm.
win 3-4 times, I think the campaign spent almost $250,000. I could be wrong. To protect the citizens from their voices, to protect democracy, to protect the Constitution,
mm-hmm.
is major. He didn't like that, so then he blocked me because that's the way that politicians want to do it, and the left and the evil people they don't want you to talk.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you to talk. That's the pattern that we're seeing, and it's getting dangerous. Now, having said that, I love him to death. I'm very glad that everybody now is able to run. I saw that Yo Carollo is running now, but
no comments.
But we needed to fight. Emilio needed to fight for us to be able to, for all these people to run. We need better leadership, Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
We have a blank check. We have given a blank check to all these agencies, including DDA, including all these programs that they have that the mayor has actually gotten away with it, given the commissioner so much power and not vetoing anything. At the moment that they don't veto the items that they just want to push, in front of the people and just for the special interest is not good.
Right.
And that's why I'm just a concerned citizen. Today, I have a couple of events with the campaign. We already did many, but today I wanted to be more business oriented, to tell my candidate,
mm-hmm.
Emilio Gonzalez, which many of my people don't know, which many of my people perhaps need to learn more about, so they could tell him, listen, we're looking for this change. Listen, I think that we should suggest that you should do this.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 things that are killing me. The DDA, the fact that you're able to give in a blank check to that company, to that agency, so they could do whatever, is really bad. It's really sad, and we need to change that. The issues with the crime, we have to fix crime, the homeless. We have a lot of issues with the homeless. We have so many issues with so many things. A theater, a landmark. See, we're building a bunch of arts in downtown.
Do you know how much they spent?
Like $500 million.
It's almost $80 million.
Imagine that, and we are able to keep a landmark, which is the Olympia Theater, away from other individuals that have nothing to do with City of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of keeping the landmark alive, we just want to build more landmarks and spend more money. That's not correct. It kills me to see that, and that's why we're doing this. So today I have my dear friend Edwin Xiao. He's he's the CEO of RC. Well, I know him as Edwin, but we don't talk about company to company. But Edwin is an economist from New York. He's a developer. We have done a couple of things together, and when it comes to economists, I rely on people like him to give me advice.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, you know what, let me invite you to a couple of events. So let's just do something very tailored to what we know, and I want you to give me the take on what can we do better and what can we suggest the next mayor, which is going to be Emilio Gonzalez, on working for a better goal, so we could fix all of these mess. Thank you, Edwin, for being here, brother.
A pleasure. A pleasure. So yeah, I mean, pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
A little bit for my background for everyone is was an economics finance major, master's in construction management. Been a business owner for the past 15 to 20 years. Run an engineering company and a general contract company. We do work for the Miami Airport. One of our clients, Related Group, another one of our clients. And what we're seeing here and what we discuss sometimes, as you and I discuss overnight, is the existing state of affairs in Miami, what is good, what can be better. The issues that I'm seeing here in Miami, which can be better, is obviously the homelessness issue. I think the reason why Ephraim talks so much about the lack of accountability of the DDA is because what is visible is so obvious. You know, we don't want this to be like the second San Francisco, right?
Or
We don't want,
California.
huh?
Or California.
Yeah, California, right. We want this to be a place where there's not two cities within the same location, where rich and poor is so different. They take different, trains. One takes the Bright Line, one takes, the Tri-Rail, like that type of thing. We want to make it integrated. And homelessness is one of the issues. Crime is another issue. The housing shortage, obviously another issue. Economic growth, which has traditionally been dependent on tourism. We want to continue that. Okay. Now we see like there's with the existing economy, with all the pricing of housing pricing dropping, a lot of people are leaving. They're going to like Tennessee, they're going to Alabama,
Even Ephraim.
Yeah.
Out of Miami.
Yeah, exactly. So people are just leaving where they should be staying. So I think what we're gonna see is without the future opportunities for the youth here, we're also going to have these issues where we're gonna lose some of the talent that should have remained here after graduating from school, and they're going to be leaving. Even though we're getting an influx of new talent, it's gonna sort of cancel out.
And if I might add the three things on this, I want to make City of Miami the next capital of the world. Francis Suarez was unable to do it. He had, I love him to death. He was the pioneer of bringing crypto into the image of the business as Miami. We created a Miami Bitcoin. Now what happened? It's a disaster.
Yeah.
But the more people, and you've been in tech, the
Yeah.
more people that are coming from Silicon Valley, from technology, from all these sectors, they want to be in Miami. They want to be in Miami because they understand the vision and they understand where we're going. We have to make Miami the next capital of the world. We need to talk more about crypto, more about AI, more about ways to become sustainable as a city.
Absolutely.
We don't have the infrastructure as a place like New York,
Sure.
a place like Chicago, even though Chicago is a dump, but they do have the infrastructure. We don't have it. And these politicians that use mainly the city of Miami, they just spend the money. See, the other day I was talking to someone that was telling me about Maurice Ferret. Maurice Ferret, back in the 70s and the 80s, he was able to make the metro a reality. If it wouldn't have been for him, we wouldn't have a metro mover. We wouldn't have none of it. And nobody has worked on that. Nobody has made an effort to make that better, and that's why we need to highlight it. And that's why I think it's my responsibility and my friend's responsibility.
Yeah.
Because Edwin told me, how can I help?
Right.
Your brain is the best way that you could help us and you could advise us. Because how can we make a strategy, Edwin, where we're gonna be able to tell the next mayor that is gonna be Murillo Gonzalez, we should go this route instead of doing this. And I give him homework. I told him 4 days ago, right?
Sure, absolutely.
I told him 4 days ago, I need you to talk about this, that. So now, give me the homework. Give me the homework.
The answers.
It's the Chino that always does the homework, right?
It's
It's the Chino that always does the homework.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I believe that we need to focus on our strengths, right? Instead of just keep on growing, let's focus on our strengths and see how we can grow organically. Now, when you and I talk about Emilio, why we feel like he's such a good candidate is infrastructure, right? He was CEO of the Miami Airport. And infrastructure here is very important because we see that a lot of people, when they move to big cities like Miami, you have a lot of traffic, you have problems with parking, you have all these things, and it discourages people from living downtown. Okay, like for example at the Olympia Theater, those type of areas, right? Because you need to buy a car, and you're stuck in traffic, and it's hard to commute. So I think we need to focus a lot on the infrastructure of the city. So meaning like the Metro Mover, it's getting better, but we need to do more things like that, to encourage. So it's not just like a poor man's thing to take the Metro Mover, or public transportation. We need to put some more money into that, and what we need to do is encourage like more civic-minded activities. You were mentioning about the Olympia theater and what we could do with it, and you're like, Ed, I challenge you, think about it a little bit differently. And I was like, well, to a lot of people it's a real estate development opportunity, right? But how many real estate developers really focus on theaters in addition to residential as like a joint mixed use component? And I would say that it probably makes more sense to just focus on one aspect of it first and sequence it the right way. So you focus on the residential component of it, provide subsidized housing for the local populace or talent around the world that might be able to give them some sort of civic fellowship. And they've done this case study before, and they've done this throughout the world, including in New York City. You have fellowships. When I was younger, about almost 20 years ago, they had a fellowship for New York City Economic Development Corporation, where you navigate through the city. They give you like a stipend to live on, but they don't provide you housing. Imagine providing housing plus you get stipends to live on. These civic activities where you're using the existing inventory of housing, renovating it, collecting rent from it, having bright minds basically negotiate and be nominated for these type of like housing downtown. And then they're also help fixing some of the problems that we have.
And let me pause you there. And this is a direct challenge to the city of Miami, a direct challenge to whoever wants to give away this theater to whatever. We both can fix that within a year, right or wrong. If we get the Olympia Theater, we could make it work, right or wrong.
We can make anything work, right?
Exactly. Because it's very simple. We get it, then what we're gonna do with it? We could, like he said, we could make it for the people that go to school to be actors, or for an Airbnb or for whatever. We could start making money in this with this property that we own. That the citizens own, instead of another company make the money, because they're not buying it and they're not getting it for 10 million. Somebody else is making money somewhere. So this is a direct challenge, and that's why you're gonna own this. You're gonna own this video, and this is a direct challenge to the city of Miami. Well, we could fix it. They give it to us, and we fix it. I have like a bunch of actors, and actually I have a play from Chaplin that they want to bring it from France, and I told my business partner with that. I said, you know what? I bring it. How much is it? It will be done. That's what we need, so the young people can learn about number one, the landmark, and about theater and about culture. Theater, being in the theater world is culture. Look, you're from New York. How many times, every time that we go to New York, we want to go to a play? We don't have that. We don't have that here in Miami, and they want to destroy that. So this is a challenge for the city of Miami. We can fix it. Edwin has an amazing track record as a developer, and also with major clients in construction as well, so we can fix it. I challenge everybody. And
What's the status of it right now?
Right now, for what I know, what Sandy told me, Francis Suarez was gonna talk about it last week. Then he moved it for the 27th or the 28th, I think, where they're gonna give it away to whoever, or perhaps he's gonna hear all the heat that I have brought regarding that theater, and also Sandy, and also all my other friends. And perhaps you say, you know what? Let me do what I'm supposed to do. This belongs to the city, to the citizens. Let's go for a vote, or let's just have, very simple. He's leaving. Just leave the other mayor, the next mayor, to decide, which is the best thing. Well, why we have to do this now that he's leaving? But there's a mind right here. That's why I brought Edwin. Edwin has an amazing resume. We could fix it. We could make it better, and without, not even with grants, we could raise the money ourselves to make this happen, and then the city could keep the deed, and we just become partners. Isn't that right, Edwin?
Absolutely. We're thinking about all the creative ways to integrate the community into it, right? Now, you having a private charter school there, I don't see how that integrates the community enough. And we talk about this, often, is not just And and obviously applying what he mentioned earlier, transit-oriented, transit-adapted development.
Mm-hmm.
Making this so that you don't need a car and you can still live. As a case study, you can still live within the city. You get unlimited Metro card to ride around as well as a condition of the lease. Things like this. These are the creative solutions that we're talking about. Not just put a school here, but in essence, it's a for-profit school, even though it's labeled as nonprofit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're in the middle of Miami. We are in a very specific location where a lot of things could happen. I remember going there to a very private showing of a play, and then going to the pond building, and then going to a masquerade. That was the Miami back in the day, 20 years ago. That Miami does not exist. I want to bring it back. If we're gonna bring the ultra rich here, the ultra rich went there. If we want to bring the ultra classy people, the New York style people, they want to see theater, they want to see that, and we have it. And we're gonna give it away for $10. Now let's talk about DDA. The DDA has done many things, and I was talking to two of the board members, which are dear friends of mine, after what happened in the last meeting that I went. That I told them the truth, they didn't like it or whatever. And I spoke to two board members, which are like family to me, and they told me, "You're right regarding the director. That director is making $260,000. For us to make $250,000, we have to do a lot of things, isn't that, bro?
Of course.
And if we're gonna pay somebody in our world $250,000, they better be making us millions, right or wrong?"
Exactly, and this is what Ephraim and I are talking about, is we have data here, right? But we need to set the right metrics so that this person whoever is in that role, right, can perform properly. This way, because right now, when you have a fixed, we live in a republic, and if you have a fixed salary, and if you do poorly or you do well, it doesn't really change. You have no skin in the game. And where we come from, the private sector, a lot of what we do is having some sort of skin in the game. So compensation can't be tied 100% towards you get nominated. It has to be tied like maybe 30% towards like some sort of variable, transparent type of system where it's like, okay, homelessness decreases to X amount. We set the metrics in place for everyone, because honestly, they're not the type of people that even understand their own metrics.
Actually, she was asked in the last meeting, what was the budget, her numbers, and all that. She wasn't able to give give an actual response. How someone with a director role, okay, if we partner up in a very specific project, he's gonna know the numbers, and I better know the numbers that he knows to whenever we talk to our investors or whatever.
That happened in the budget meeting Miami-Dade too.
There you go.
The commissioner brought each director, and no one knew their job description. They didn't know where the money was going to, and everybody's like, what?
And then talking about the optics, this woman has been in that role for a long time, and again, I'm a result-driven individual. So if you give me results, I'm not gonna be breathing over your neck. But now, whenever I see more homeless, whenever I see more crime, whenever I see more of everything, it's nonsense. Because guess what? This is the only agency in City of Miami that has full discretion to the police, full discretion to every single of City of Miami services, something that Camilo's house doesn't have. If we're gonna give, and I'm very close to the CEO of Camilo's house, if we're gonna give DDA the opportunity to have police, to have this, to have that, let's give it to Camilo's house. If Camilo's house will actually have the police to their disposal, trust me, they will get more clients into Camilo's house. But then there's more homeless, there's more issues, and mainly crime that they're not resolving. And the thing is that they're so proud of everything that they have done in downtown, but downtown is a dump. If you walk at the other day, we left the theater, the Silver Cinema, and I parked right there where Starbucks is. There was a bunch of homeless there, and one of the guys was drunk, and I was with a lady, and I was ready to defend her. So at the end of the day, that's the results that the EDA has. I see more homeless than ever. I walk those streets. I'm in shorts 90% of the time. Whenever I go to the DOJ, or whenever I go to the civil building, whenever I go anywhere, I walk those streets. I take the metro. I see James, and I know these people. They don't do that because they're too. We're already. I don't know how rich they are. but they behave extremely rich. Whenever we, the rich, we don't behave like that. So at the end of the day, this is me begging for service from the city of Miami and from DDA. I'm saying the DA, you know what? I really think that you guys shouldn't spend all the money that you spend. Let's put you guys in an accountability program where it's gonna be independent. Let's you know, this is my other challenge to DDA now. Let's bring Doge. They have be the first agency that calls Doge or people in the campaign knows their numbers and everything and tells them, you know what, we're gonna open your books, come to us. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that because I know there's a lot of conflict of interest. And come on, all the people on the board, that lady that actually was so scared of the way that I talked because I was telling her the truth. She's part of 29 boards in city of Miami,
and she's a lobbyist.
And she's a lobbyist, and on top of that, she's an attorney, and inspections and a permits attorney. She's not even an actual attorney like the ones that we hire. She's a permit attorney. So then that raises money for other people and for the commissioners and all that are connected to whatever she wants to do and more business for her. That's a conflict of interest 101. If I do that, if you do that, whatever, if we work in the private world, we will get in trouble.
Yeah.
But she's getting away with it. Why she's getting away with it?
I've seen her in Hialeah as an lobbyist.
You told me. You told me, and I want to stop that. You know, whenever I need something from the city, I have to go through the steps, and I know everybody. Why? Because I have to go through the steps.
Yeah.
In Coral Gables, I know my boy Mayor Vince Lagua. I could have done many projects, many things there. He actually disagreed with me on many things that I wanted to do, and he's my friend. So, you know, at the moment that you're a professional individual, that you have nothing to fear and nothing to hide, you could talk about these things. But I'm pretty sure she's unable to talk about this being a lawyer and being with so much conflict of interest, and we had to change that. What else, Edwin?
Yeah, so the homelessness, that I think will also tie into like how do we solve that, right? You know, and we have so many community, you have so many schools here. We have a lot of healthcare institutions, right? You know, we have an aging population that you know is in Florida, and you know, mental health is something that should also be tackled. You know, and with these institutions, University of Miami being one, FIU being one, like I think we need to throw the smartest people at the most difficult problems.
The mental issue, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about all these people being homeless. Why? Because this is what I talked with the CEO of Camilo's house. They get them there, they take showers, but then they go back to the street and they go, they're mentally not stable. We haven't done anything as a city, as a county, to deal and tackle that issue. We don't care about them. And let me tell you, the president about a month and a half ago, he said we need to build more mental institutions. There are a lot of people out there, you know, this individual that actually, I don't know, the other day there was something that happened that was really bad, that was crazy. Here in Rico Key, remember the lady that was attacked? She was running and there was a homeless man, broad daylight, that wanted to attack her, perhaps even rape her. Okay, we don't talk about that. That individual is not well. If I would have witnessed that, I would have shot the guy. I would have killed the guy. Because at the end of the day, the police is not there. And like many cops tell me, we can be anywhere. Well, now everybody could carry guns. Now everybody's going to be open carry. And this is what I told the commanders today. One of the commanders that is going to be here in my event downstairs. Now that everybody's gonna be open carry, and now that everybody could have a gun without any I guess repercussion or accountability, anybody could have it. How are we gonna tackle that? So then you're gonna be the Wild Wild West. So then what is the city of Miami doing about that? And I want every single of my women, including you, including my friends, and everybody, include everybody in my world, to own guns. Because we need to protect ourselves. The police is never there whenever it happens. The other day, I was in the DEDA meeting the other day. There was 3 people that live in 10 Museum Park, close to 10 Museum Park, actually in Marina 1. And they say, look, we always encounter the homeless at 3 in the morning. We always encounter the cars making noises, doing noises, this loud. the mayor could actually put an ordinance that will be illegal, and you will go to jail if you have a loud car, or if you are a person that hangs out at 3, 4 in the morning doing something stupid, either having sex or pressuring yourself or whatever. They have been witness of that. And we're talking about a couple that they were like 60-year-olds. That could be my father and my mother, and I felt bad for them. I'm like, wow, I think you guys have to move to up north. I don't know. I didn't say that. I almost say that.
How about the little dudes?
I almost said that, but at the end of the day, I don't want those people that already have paid a price and they just want to live the beautiful, enjoy the beautiful city that I have behind me, and they're unable to do it. Why? Because our politicians are failing us. I mean, it's the city of Miami, and here I really think that if Edwin and I could talk more to these city officials, we will resolve 80% of the problems within 2 hours, for real. And this is what I told Ralph Rosado the other day whenever I challenged him to. I told him, listen, give me 2 days and I will make sure that I make a change in that board. None of the boards of DDA lives in the district. They don't live in City of Miami. They don't live in Brickell. Brickell, we are the only ones that foot the bill for DDA, only for downtown. And it's
Is
crazy.
it mandatory to be part of the DDA if you live in Brickell?
Yeah. The DDA
I
is
was
part
asking,
is part of the city of Miami. So then
you have to pay for it.
I have to pay for it. And then the lady, so you have paid up millions of dollars worth of taxes, because that's what I said. Yes, I've been living in Miami for 27 years. My family has been living here for 40 plus years, and we have had many properties. We have paid a lot of money in taxes, millions of dollars worth of taxes the last 40 something years. But guess what? This building too. I don't own this building, but the owners of this building, an Spaniard group that are led by people that I know, but the building is being handled by the property managers that are downstairs. They were telling me the other day, we pay a lot of money in taxes, and the city never helps. I hope I don't get in trouble with it for saying that, but most of the people have that engagement with the city. The city is not helping. The city, no. The city, I feel bad because, every time that I call the city, they're there because it's me, but I want to be able to transfer the influence that I have to the normal person. And we as developers, we know, we could hire whoever the law, whatever, and then we get it done. But at the end of the day, when it's good to stop it being that abusive with the system. To give an example, this is gonna take, maybe you're not gonna like this, but it's fine. Right here in Brickell Key, this building, the Mandarin, your people's, is gonna be imploded. Where we are in a key that was man-made. I don't know what's gonna happen to the infrastructure of the key whenever we implode the building, and whenever we erect the beautiful towers the Mandarin is gonna have. Whenever we have the friction that the Champlain Tower also had and was a victim of before it collapsed 2 years after the new development was erected in front of them. So we have to have a study whenever we do this, and they get the permit like that. And I'm pretty sure I might get in trouble for saying this, but they were very powerful. I'm pretty sure a lot of people make money there. But at the end of the day, I think we have to regulate. We have to build. I'm pro building. I am who I am because I have bad construction, because of real estate. But whenever I see an ocean and a bay that is dirty, every time that they build something, whenever I pass by places where there's cement in the water, it kills me. Because my manatees, my dolphins, my sharks are there, my little fish, everything is there. My little Nemos are there. So we have to, we have to take care of that.
Sustainability, and the environment and sustainability have always been, important subjects close to your heart.
And where's the left? They always love the environment. The left is nowhere to be found. Whenever the left, where was the left whenever the Damian Pardo, the District 2 commissioner, started cutting all these trees in Morningside? Where are they? We don't see them. So it's a double standard as much as you see it. It's about where was the feminists whenever this woman was attacked, or with all the crime against women in our district? Where are they? So you know that this is what I'm doing this so we could be on the record saying Number one, and so we could bring solutions as well. So anything else? Mercy, ask Edwin.
So there's 13
Sure.
candidates running now.
Yeah.
And one of them is Xavier Suarez.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
First of all, I love Xavier. Xavier is like an uncle to me. Like many people that we grew up here. I've been in Miami for 34 years. I know them for a long time. Xavier was a great mayor, but at the end of the day, and this is why Francis Suarez got upset. Xavier, being an amazing mayor that he was, doing things that I agree on, did he ever advise Francis Suarez to be a present mayor? Did he ever advise Francis at not having so much conflict of interest, so many scandals? That's the first thing that I'm gonna ask Xavier bro, what happened whenever he was being investigated by the FBI for 2 years, which he might be investigated still, like for conflict of interest? Do you advise him? So that's gonna be the first thing that is gonna happen.
I've never seen a mayor that doesn't stay in the board meeting.
Exactly.
He only goes for his pictures, presentations, and then he leaves.
And that's why whenever Emilio and I talk to, we talk to each other. Actually, many people told me to run for mayor, but look, me running, it's like, it will be like terrible. But I wanted to do it to bring my network together and to bring my network voice to life. But then whenever I sat down with Emilio, I said, you know what, I'm gonna endorse this gentleman that has an amazing resume.
Because you believe he's the most qualified.
Yes, we need to have a present mayor like you. Imagine you have been all over Miami-Dade County reporting all this conflict of interest and bad behavior by the politicians. You just said it. How embarrassing is that we don't have a present mayor? How embarrassing that the present mayor, because he's not a strong mayor, he lets everybody do whatever, and then he only takes the pictures and all that. Come on. Well, why is that? And he thinks that he's a king. He really thinks he's a king, because he showed us that he wanted to extend his term to be king, okay, without the voters' voice, and that's not good. Why? Okay, so going back to Xavier. Xavier has an amazing legacy that is going to be tainted by every single mistake that Francis Suarez did, okay, and this is a reality. I'm not saying it. I'm not a political expert. I just use my common sense. Now, the other candidates, let's talk about Joe Carollo. Come on. Joe Carollo he's gonna be the $100 million man. We already owe a lot of money to actually one of my attorneys is friends with the other attorneys, and I know the guys that sue the city, and I'm pretty sure you also have people in common that know them. We know these people, and we could be those people. If we have businesses, we're gonna be harassed, and then he started harassing people that he didn't like, and then that's a major liability right there. So then Joe has done things that are not good for the city. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel the same way that I feel now. And then after that, we have Ken Russell. Come on, we are in the position that we are right now in District 2 because of the failures of Ken Russell. Something that I respect from him is that whenever everybody knew that Francis blocked me, he sent me a message. I know what you think about me. I'm not gonna block you, even though I told him the failure that he was. He was a failure whenever he was a commissioner. He left the commission to seek two seats in Congress, and he lost bad. Then Sabina Cobo came, and then we started all these systematic failures because of him. That's not leadership, and now he wants to be awarded with the mayor seat. No way. Then we have another crazy woman that is a real estate terrible. Then we have another people. Then we have Emilio Gonzalez. That if he will be my father, my uncle, whatever, I will actually ask him, bro, don't do it. But you know what? He wants to do it. He is taking a big sacrifice, and he's taking he told me, I don't need the job, but I want to do it for my people. He really wants to serve again. He's a retired colonel from the Army. He worked with Bush Jr. as the director at INS. Also with
he has an amazing resume.
Amazing resume. Whenever he was working in the Miami airport used to work like that. Everybody loved him. Every single
and then
cop.
he left and the airport fell apart.
Exactly. Why? Because it's leadership. He's a CEO like us.
Yeah,
he understands private business. He understands how it has to be handled. He understands to reward people that actually are doing a good job. He was the city manager, and whenever he left, the thing is that everything is there. Whenever he left a budget which was in black, now it's in red. You know, their budget suck, and they don't have no accountability whatsoever. Whenever he was the city manager, he had accountability. And look at him. At the moment that he came out and said, I'm running for mayor, some other people endorse him. I endorse him within a week. Oh, let's extend the term. It's okay. Let's leave the election for another year. They fear Emilio Gonzalez. They fear what he's all about. They fear his results, and they fear the people behind him. That's what they fear the most, because there's a lot of vocal people behind him. I could talk for myself, but people that are tired of the same. You know, I'm tired of the same, and then whenever we see a guy that has been serving the country for so long, since he was a 20-year-old man, that now wants to serve, we need that kind of leadership. We need, you know, I want to see Emilio videoing stuff. I want to see Emilio telling people, you know what, you have to go counting budgets, and like he told you, perhaps the DEA will be something that we should shut down. You know, but
is that possible to shut it down?
I don't think it's possible, but we have to shut down some of the expenditures that they are going crazy with. The DDA was created in the 1920s, and again, it has been good for the community. But now, with all these budgets and with all this craziness, come on, $250,000 is so much to give to someone that's the director of the DDA that is not doing anything. And then whenever you Google her, she's the owner of DDA. But as the owner or as the face of DDA, she has the worst freaking results. Right. You know, you Google me, and then you Google my company, and then this and then that. I'm a business owner. Right. You know, have my results, and my results are there. But when you Google this woman, what's her name, Christy Crespi, she's DDA, and pretty much everything that she has done is not there. I'm pretty sure she has done a lot of things, but the things that she has done is not. It hasn't been good.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Marcy.
You want to talk about the crypto stuff?
Yeah, let's talk about crypto. Crypto. If you don't have crypto, you have to have crypto. Okay, something that Francis and we agree on, and if I have crypto is because a lot of the persistence that we had in 2015, and then we bought it. But we had to have more investment in crypto. We had to bring real estate to crypto, something that the Rider is doing so well that we buy. You know, the Rider is a new project. It's a new development. It's going to be erected in 3 years, 4 years. Diego and the people, the developers, they are accepting crypto now. So you buy there. So we're combining real estate with crypto, which is the next 10 years of doing that. We're going to be able to have a lot of money as investors, and also as you know, tapping into the real estate industry. That's my take. Okay. I suggest people to buy crypto, but buy it, you know, do your Google, now, your expert advice.
Well, you know, as we all know, Trump has created a strategic crypto reserve. So when crypto gets confiscated, right, stable coin in particular, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ripple, amongst others, when it gets confiscated, a lot of times it's a push to liquidate. And then you lose the appreciation that would carry over time by holding it. I think that Miami should have some sort of strategic reserve as well.
Yeah.
And for any confiscation of coins, they should similarly go towards this, you know, crypto reserve fund. And then to take it even 2 steps more. About 4 years ago, there was the Miami coin, as we all know. It's dropped about 98% of its value from its peak. So it's no longer a viable option. What we would propose, you know, the next leaders being able to speak with us about is the utility of a coin that can be used for, let's say, paying parking tickets, paying utilities, maybe some taxes. We could cap it at, you know, 1% to 2% of the total asset class for the city. but at least have some utility backed up by it, or else it becomes speculative, just like a lot of cryptocurrencies. We want it to be pegged to a stable coin, whether Ethereum, Ripple, Cardano, Solano, things like that. And then, have this different element of it where it's in use for like city transit, for public utilities. So once it's in use, it's within our, we're going to be one of the first cities to actually use it on a day-to-day basis. And by doing that, I think that's really going to entice everyone to come and look to us as a forward-thinking city, and not just as someone to catch up or just do things for publicity, right? Like I think Murillo's platform, the reason why we support it is one of substance and not one of just flash in the pan and just try to get attention. So that's how I want to end.
And something, and to add, Mercy, crypto is in your wallet now, and most of the international individuals, like our clients, like us as well, we use crypto every day, and we have to adapt to crypto. Miami has to adapt. Miami has to have investments in crypto that are going to be able to look at we're going to be able to look at the future and say, you know what, we were the pioneers doing this. Look at El Salvador. Look what El Salvador is doing.
Absolutely.
Look what other countries are doing. We have to do that. We have to do that. The failure of city of Miami has been on the leadership has been to embrace crypto with an accountability way of doing it. Because like they're unable to be accountable with anything, they were unable to be accountable with crypto. We have a Miami coin that is worth nothing, right?
Nothing.
That's a brand. I'm a brand guy. I want to lift that up.
Yeah.
I want to lift that up. I want the next mayor to tell me, I want to sell you crypto and this Miami coin. Bring it up. Bring it up. What can we do to bring it up? The PR, the international people, whoever wants to pay us with Miami crypto can do it. We have to embrace it. If we don't embrace it, we're not going to go anywhere with it. And that's why I know Emilio understands that. Emilio is a CEO. He has handled billions of dollars worth of hedge funds, funding through the years as a CEO, and he understands. He understands this. The thing is that he's very humble. He doesn't talk about this thing, but I really think that he understands a lot about crypto.
If not, he has you guys.
Yeah, no, 100%.
If he doesn't understand, he'll be like, you guys, you set a meeting.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And lastly, it's the sustainability aspect of crypto, right? Is something that people, may not talk about enough. There's infrastructure. You need rigs, right? It's almost like oil rigs digging. You need rigs to mine these, to perform these calculations, right? And they generate a lot of heat. And with that heat, it creates greenhouse emissions, and it's not good for the environment, right? But people still do it because the margins are so high. When you're mining and you're in a place like, let's say, Miami, where the utility here in Miami statewide is cheaper than in most places. In New York, we're at like 35 cents. Here's like 15 cents per kilowatt hour.
Right.
And to negotiate for commercial rates, you probably get it down to like maybe 5-6 cents per kilowatt hour here. And now that should encourage people to come here, but we don't want to just encourage them. We want them to come here and think of a sustainable way to mine. If that's the case. So it's like solar, wind, whatever things that we could think about that makes sense. Using some of the land that we're not purposed yet, let's repurpose it for some sort of use that makes sense.
Right.
And maybe Miami itself, what the largest municipal mining center is right now? Just in U.S., 3 rigs in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
That's nothing,
Yeah.
We could be the number one by having 10 rigs,
Yeah.
or creating its own mining infrastructure of 1 megawatt or something like that if we had the space for it.
Yeah.
The thing of the city of Miami that you have a selfish mayor and he wants everything for him.
Yeah,
He doesn't want everybody being his level. That's what I seen it from the outside,
Right.
not me being a politician.
Sure. And in a way, I love him dearly, but in a way, that's what he's been showing for the last at least 3-4 years
Around 3 years.
that I have seen that everything is about him, and that's why he wants to stay in power. And I hope, and this is all this happened was because he didn't get the job that he wanted to get in the White House. He wanted to be an ambassador in Saudi Arabia, and they said no. So then he just wants to clean in power and all that. And at the moment that he comes forward and he says, you know what, I messed up, then I'm gonna love him even more, I'm gonna respect him more. But at the end of the day, everything that he has done when it comes to crypto, we have to reset it and we have to make it brand new.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, in a year from now, let's say that the Emilio wins on November, and then November 2027, we're gonna be able to raise or the crypto value on a 20% if we do the right things, if we have good budgets, if we have a good accountability, if we change and we make a reset, people are gonna come here, and then the real business owner is gonna say, I'm proud to be in Miami.
Right.
Not too many people are telling me that.
No.
Everything is very expensive.
Yeah.
Everything is this. Everything is that.
Small business every day. There's 3 or 4 people closing.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at what happened in Miami Beach. In Miami Beach, Lincoln Road is dying, but then there's
Yeah.
security.